Hello everybody. In this video we are going to discuss A Thing of Beauty by John Keats. So this poem is actually a part of a longer version or longer poem, Endymion, by the same poet John Keats, and in your course only a piece of that poem has been given. So here, of course, as John Keats was the great admirer of beauty, so here the title itself is A Thing of Beauty, and this is an oft quoted line. A thing of beauty is a joy forever. Is oft quoted in several essays and several articles. We find this line being used by the writers. So here in this poem, the poet is of course talking about beauty. But beauty doesn't mean that he is talking about, say, Priyanka Chopra or Deepika Padukone or Ranveer, Salman, Shah Rukh. Of course, it's not that beauty. Here, it's about the real beauty. And the real beauty can be in anything, in any form, in any shape. Because we know that beauty is all about perception. Beauty lies in perception. It's all relative. All the children are the most beautiful, handsome for their parents. So it all depends. We cannot say that this is beautiful or that is beautiful. So that is the main idea behind this, that it's all relative. So let's see how this idea has been beautifully conveyed by the poet in this poem. A thing of beauty is a joy forever. So if anything is beautiful, if anything has real beauty, then it goes on providing us joy forever. That joy won't be transitory, that joy won't be momentary. It will last forever, for generations, for centuries, and its loveliness increases. So it's not that everything is beautiful. Now, if we talk about the physical beauty, with the passage of time, it fades, it decreases, it diminishes. But as I already said, that it's not just about physical beauty. The poet is talking about the real beauty. So if anything is really beautiful, we can think of the monuments, we can think of the great works of art and literature that have been written years ago, ages ago, and still they are there. So they are there because there is real beauty in them. And the loveliness goes on increasing because it's not easy to understand them at the first chance, in the first glance. No, it comes out slowly. That understanding has to be developed with the passage of time, and that's why it takes time. And so with the passage of time, the loveliness goes on increasing. We know that earlier there was just science. There were no branches of science, only we studied science, or our ancestors studied science. But now we have several disciplines and several branches. We have nanotechnology, we have biotechnology, we have microbiology, we have cell biology, we have different such sciences in the present time. So how all this has come about? The loveliness. The loveliness has increased, my dear. The loveliness has increased. And so, if anything is really beautiful, think of the discoveries, think of the inventions of the past, and now how there have been developments in the present world. Earlier, there was just, earlier, the TV and the electronic items, the computers and the radios and such things that we use today used to be very big. And today, the gadgets can be kept in pockets. So, hasn't the loveliness increased? Yes. The loveliness, the more we understand, the more we delve deep into that, the more we engage ourselves into that, the loveliness of the thing goes on increasing. And that's the beauty. That's the beauty of that thing. And he says, it never passes into nothingness. Yes. It never passes into nothingness. So of course a thing of real beauty can never be zero, can never be nothing. Think of Shakespeare. He was born in 1564, and even today his works are studied, staged and researched upon. And why Shakespeare? Even Keats. He was born in 1795, and even in this century, even in this 21st century, we are studying and discussing his poem. So that's the beauty, that's the real beauty. And so whatever, and why, say, think of Mona Lisa by Leonardo da Vinci. Even today we know about that work. So it never passes into nothingness. If anything has real beauty, it will be there. Nobody can destroy that, nobody can devastate that. It remains in the hearts and minds of people because of the beauty of that work. And he says, but will keep a bower quite for us, and sleep full of sweet dreams, health and quiet breathing. Health and quiet breathing. So the poet here wants to say that a thing of beauty can never pass into nothingness. On the contrary, its beauty and its loveliness goes on increasing, because the more we understand things, the more our vision widens, the more our understanding develops. We find it more lovely, we find it more beautiful, we find, or we like to delve deep into that and go deep into that. But we'll keep a bower quite for us. So bower means a garden, an orchard. So if we have perceived the real beauty in something, so it will be like sitting in an orchard, sitting in a garden, because just as sitting in a garden provides or gives us peace, tranquility, we find tranquility in a garden. Same way, if we have found the real beauty in something, will be at peace with ourselves, will be at peace with the world around, will find complete solitude and quietness in our life. And not just quietness, sleep full of sweet dreams, health and quiet breathing. Because if we are happily engaged in something, if we are at peace with ourselves and the world around, so there won't be any worries or problems or tensions. Because if tension is there, if something is imposed upon us, if we are forced to do something, we can never be happy. And if we are not happy, we cannot have good sleep, of course we cannot have good dreams, and our health also won't be perfect. But if we have found the beauty in something and we are happily engaged in that, everything will be perfect. We'll be in good health, we'll have good sleep, we'll have sweet dreams. Everything would be fine and perfect. So that's what the poet is trying to say, that beauty is not just about the physical thing. Beauty is related to everything, our mind and our heart and our whole body. It's a holistic concept. And therefore, he says, therefore on every morrow are we reading a flowery band to bind us to the earth. So this is the reason that we need beauty in our life. That without beauty, life is not possible. That without beauty, life will be dull and dreary. So that's why the poet says, on every morrow, means every other day, every tomorrow, are we wreathing a flowery band, means we are making garland of flowers. Picking flowers, we are making a garland to bind us to the earth, to connect us to this earth. So this is the literal meaning of these lines. But there is one more implied sense, and that is that as we need beauty in our life, as life will be all listless and mechanical and monotonous without beauty. So every other day, every tomorrow, we try to pick small pleasures and happiness and try to make garland of them to keep our lives going, to keep moving on this earth. Otherwise, our life will be all stagnant. So, to express this in other words, everybody has certain interests and likings, everybody has a certain hobby, and everybody has a certain ambition and aim, and that keeps them going. So every other day we find a certain purpose, we find a certain aim, we find a small pleasure, we find a small ambition, and we work for that. And when we work for that, so those small pleasures, those small things finally turn into a garland. And that is what keeps us on this earth, connected to this earth, bound to this earth. And that is quite necessary. If we don't have any such pleasure or any such aim or ambition, then we won't keep going. It will be like death. We will be like dead bodies, meaningless life. So that's the importance of beauty in our life. And he says, spite of despondence, spite of despondence, of inhuman dearth, of noble natures, of gloomy days, of all the unhealthy and over-darkened ways, unhealthy and over-darkened ways made for our searching. So the poet is trying to say that when we look around in this world, we find lots of problems and miseries, spite of despondence, dejection, depression, disappointment, sadness, spite, malice, feeling of hatred. So, spite or feeling of hatred, malice, because of despondence or disappointment in one's life, of inhuman dearth of noble natures. Dearth means paucity, scarcity, lack. So there is lack of nobility and noble people and noble deeds in this world. Of gloomy days, there is gloom, there is darkness, there is sorrow, troubles and tribulations, all the unhealthy and over-darkened ways. The ways of the world are wicked and crooked. There are troubles all around, there are problems all around, people are depressed, they are starved, made for our searching. So it means when we search, when we look around, these are the things that we find prevailing around us in this world. That the world is full of problems, the world is full of troubles, the world is full of sins and wickedness and crookedness. That's what is there. But he says, in spite of all, yes, in spite of all, the poet says, yes, in spite of all, some shape of beauty moves away the pall. So though there are problems and troubles and sorrows in our life in this world around, but in spite of all these problems and sorrows, beauty has the power. He says some shape of beauty moves away the pall from our dark spirits. So in spite of all these, if we are able to engage ourselves in some beautiful thing, if we are able to find our beauty, if we are able to perceive beauty in something, that gloom and that sorrow will all be lifted up, will all be taken away. So such is the power of beauty. That beauty can take away all frustration, beauty can take away all gloom and sadness, beauty can make us happy. Maybe for a short while, but yes, it has the power to lift that gloom and darkness from our lives. So, such is that even if we are sad, or even if there is frustration or momentary disappointment in our life, but if we have the ability to engage ourselves in something beautiful, if our vision has got that much widened to perceive the beauty in things, in life, then that sadness won't last long. It will soon be taken away. It will soon be put aside. So that's what the poet is trying to make us understand, that beauty is an essential part of our life. So that's all in this part. The next part, the other half of this poem, we'll discuss in the next video. Thank you very much for watching this video.